Hello friends, this is Bhavna Thacker. In today's video session, we'll see when and how to convert a utility function in Kotlin to an extension function. First of all, let's revise what are Kotlin extensions and Kotlin extension functions. So Kotlin provides you this ability to extend a class with new functionality without having to inherit from the class. And this is done via special declarations called extensions. Using Kotlin extension functions, you can write new functions for a class from a third-party library or Android framework that you can't modify. So how do you define an extension function? So this is an example. This will add a swap function to mutable list of int. And this keyword inside the extension function corresponds to the receiver object, like one that is passed before the dot. So how do you call this function? If you have a mutable list of int, say list, then you can call list.swap, and this inside the swap will hold the value of list. So this was a quick revision of Kotlin extension functions. Now let's go to a real-time scenario. For demo purpose, I've used a JetTask app from my GitHub repository. You can go through this app. It's a sample demo app with 2 screens and depicting clean architecture, Jetpack Compose UI, and some other best practices. Now, while developing this app, I tell you what was my experience. I created a utils.kt file and I required 2 functions, format date to string and get date without time. Now I was passing the date and formatting it to string for the UI purpose, and this function get date without time I needed because I wanted the same deadline for the task. Those are created on the same day, so time was not required. So I needed these 2 utility functions. I first created them. Now after I created them, at the end I realized that both of these are operating on a date, right? So why not create an extension function for date class? So what I had to do is simply make some modifications to these 2 functions here itself. Say instead of passing the date, I'm going to call it on a date, so I don't need a parameter. I'll say date dot format date to string, date dot get date without time, and I'm not going to pass it. Now if I don't pass it, how do I get the value? Using this. Here also, having done this, I have to modify where I am calling these functions. So go to format date to string, find usages. And now instead of passing the date as a parameter, I'm going to call this function using the selected date. Again go to utils.kt, get date without time, find usages. Here instead of the utility function, I'm going to be calling it as an extension function on the date. So selected date will come in the front. Okay, one more thing, task.deadline. And you can see the changes have worked. This file now contains the extension functions for date. So what I can do is I can rename this file utils.kt to dateextensions.kt. Refactor, rename. That's it friend for this video session, and I hope you understood the concept and you're going to apply this to your Android apps. See you in my next video.